A couple of episodes ago, I had Doughboy Sums on set. And if you listen very, very carefully, he said one of his favorite artists is M6. Now, for anybody who know who M6 is, you'll say Queens rapper, artist, visionary, definitely under the table and definitely in my top 5. You know what I'm saying, man? I talk about the quality of the living, and I've done work with a lot of people in this thing we call industry. One of my favorite people to work with is here in the studio.
Yes, sir.
M6 is here. Woo! This is going to be fun. We live on set with Irv. Check it. Oh, yeah. Oh, man, it gets better and better every time, don't it? I know. Yo, we live on set. Another great episode discussing strategy, execution, technology, some would say teamwork. Sure. I have a very, very dear homeboy of mine. I've known him for way too long, and one of the most influential people that I know in this thing that we call the industry.
Right.
M6, welcome to the set, brother.
What's going on, brother? Appreciate you.
No, brother, thank you, sir. And we done, the question is, what haven't we done together, like, as far as collectively? We haven't made $1 million yet.
Yeah. that and this, you know what I mean? So,
well, yes, exactly. You haven't been live on the set.
That's how you caught Sums last time.
That's how I caught Sums. You haven't been live on the set. Yep. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but listen, like I tell everybody, man, everybody's on here are people that I admire. Integrity, sir. You've been instrumental in my growth. So what you see is, as you contribute to a lot of people's lives. Yeah. And some ain't gonna give the credit. But those that know, you hear me?
It is what it is. Word. Those who need to know.
Oh, yeah, without question. We're gonna definitely dive a little bit deep into that.
Right.
But for those who don't know, who's M6?
Yo, man, 30 little kid from Queens, man. Like, that's how I started. I
came from the mud, nigga.
From the mud, man. That's my thing. And I keep true to it because no matter as the years go by, no matter how old I get, you know what I'm saying? Like, I still keep myself grounded with knowing, you know what I'm saying, how far I've came and where I came from. And with that, a lot of that doesn't leave me. I mean, it matured a lot, but a lot of it doesn't leave me because the ground level rules are still the more potent ones. You know what I'm saying? The foundation of it all. So, I'm just a dirty kid from Queens, man. That was trying to see 21, try to keep, my people's close, try to keep them safe, try to keep them alive, showing them something different, and with us doing the music and seeing where it goes from there. Having family influences, being around people doing things without the time. And, maybe that's from my Caribbean background. I break bread, man.
You're yard man.
Big
stepper.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, for real.
You know what I mean? Shout out to all my J peoples, you know what I mean? Wagwan.
You know how they say, you done know?
You done know.
Burka!
You see me?
Y'all know I'm fucking around. Y'all know I've been like Jamaicans for how long? You know how this go.
Hard dough bread and butter. Bully beef and white rice. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
I met you during high school days.
Right,
I met you during Jackson days. I met you, dressed pop around the corner. Hey! You know what I'm saying? I met that.
Yo, Sums, that line is iconic, man.
You see, to this day, right?
Yo, still ain't gonna let it go, bro. Still ain't gonna let it go. He probably don't even remember.
Right out.
He probably won't even remember that joint because it's been so long since he's heard it and that we've recorded that. But yeah.
But that was a part of the session. I was there.
Because when you referenced it last time, he was just like, and I just know what you said.
But that's the thing, you see, because depending on what I'm able to do now is everybody that I admired from then.
Right.
And you know, because there's some people that didn't stay afloat. And I'm not talking about just as far as talent. I'm talking about people of integrity, people who still stand for something, people who are still staying afloat,
Right.
handling business. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Got family, they still holding it down. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's not so like superficial where it's just one sided. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So now I can bring it to a forefront. You can now see.
Yeah. Yeah, where it's going. Yeah.
Who grew up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
That's a
saying?
fact. That's a fact.
You could exude it. Where should we start? Because you're one of my introductions to who the Lost Boys is.
Right. Yes.
And shout out to the whole.
Shout out to the team.
Shout out to the whole LBF, right?
Team. Always.
What got you into rap?
What got me into rapping is because it was a time where I was going through certain things and I had no outlet, right? And the only way I can express it was through, I kind of taught myself to express it through doing music. You know, sometimes I laugh because I have a conversation with like my mother or my father, and they'll just be like, man, the shit you used to do when you were younger. And I'm like, think about where I was. You know what I'm saying? The middle of the crack era, being on the South Side, being on the square. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people don't know that. Like there's an era like being in the square where, dude, like almost like clockwork every day, and from 3 to 5 o'clock, there was a shootout.
I'm glad you mentioned that because that's why I said that. And when I say that, for those who know, people hear the square. What's the square?
Square isn't a square, but it's the square.
Yeah,
you know
that's
what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Farmers and Nellis.
That's right.
You know,
Notorious.
Yes, that was like one of the pivotal parts of the drug era in Queens. You know what I'm saying?
I didn't realize what I moved down the block from.
Right.
I had to like be in class.
Right.
Like being in 192, getting kicked out, and then being in 59, and then realizing that I'm in there with Claw Clan and the Square, and you know what I mean? And shout out to
my man Al Square.
Yeah, shout out to Al. You already know. Shout out to
his
Ruger.
whole family, because I grew up with them, bro. You know what I'm saying?
And Al
and all of them.
And rest in peace as well. I started Andrew Jack. I went in there my freshman year with them.
Right.
Because they was all just going up there. So we all going up there.
Yeah.
And we walking up in there, so they already knew, oh, he wanted them.
Yeah.
So that's why I find it interesting. I seem to got lucky.
Right.
Because I always was put
around
people who just...
Yeah.
Like my introduction to Pretty Black was Bentley outside at the corner store.
Yeah.
I'm like, that car fly. He said, take it around the corner.
Yeah.
I said, don't tell me that. He like, nigga. I said, take it.
Yep. Rest in peace to him. Rest in peace to my man Joe Blair. You know.
Blair passed?
Yeah, bro. Yeah, a couple years ago.
What the fuck?
I don't know what it was from, but he passed.
Oh, that's crazy. I
know he was down in Atlanta. I know, shout out to his son Joe Measy.
Yo, I was football. Just thinking about him, dog.
Yeah, he passed a couple years ago. Yeah. Yo, but that's how tapped in I be, bro. Like, you see, I'm everywhere and nowhere all at the same time. I'm like the gingerbread man, bro. I'm hard to catch, but at the same time, I'm like the candy man. You say my name enough times, motherfucker gonna pop up on that ass. You know, no homo, but yeah. You know, I grew up with a lot of people.
I just ran across his CD.
Yeah.
2 days ago.
Yeah, when he was with CAS Entertainment and Jewels and all of them. Like, yeah. Yeah, bro. Yeah. That's why, like, sometimes certain people that know me from certain aspects, they do not realize what I was fully engulfed in growing up. So when I say from the mud, some people say that shit, and it's because
don't have an understanding of
in the hood, but they wasn't involved. I was bred in this shit. You know what I'm saying? I was designed to hustle.
This
You know what I'm saying? And the people that I've been around, I'm outliving a lot of my peers, bro. It shit sound like an after school special, but it's real. I'm outliving a lot of my peers, which is the reason why I created, you know, I create not by myself, but with Sums and Cap, where I created what I wanted to create as far as all of us having that family, because these guys didn't have that. They had people they was cool with, but they ain't had nobody be like, yo, bro, leave that shit alone, son. You know what I mean? You go get your money, you move like this, cut out. You know, health-wise, street-wise, they didn't have, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm stuck.
at least I feel that way.
I'm stuck. Listen, my apologies, man. We're
Nah,
gonna
you
go.
good.
We're gonna go to commercial break. We're live on set. You know what I'm saying? This is. I didn't even know that. This is lock in, man. Tap in with your peoples, man. You don't know. Like we always talk about, tomorrow's not guaranteed.
That's fact.
You want to tell God a joke? Tell him your plans. We're live on set. We'll be back.
Sir. Yeah. Yeah, dude.
Filled out. Everyone has problems, forgive if I don't give out. So much for being real out. I don't even feel that energy with the filter, not concerned if you're real out. Point us to that dodo, cause I can't even see it. So why would I be influenced of what I know they can't be? I respect if they can see. I try to show them different every go. Get long go and get back up off the wall. How many wanna deal? So much for talking still. How many gon' show off a whole new whip appeal? If only looks can kill. Fuck them all, you don't need a record deal. Just go ahead and speak it how you feel. They can't respect your game, it's all good, make sure you don't change. That's so fucking important nowadays, until they in the maze. Apply pressure and stay inside the booth. Go ahead, governor, speak your truth. How many keeps it real? How many of them don't? How many hold that steel? How many of that top? How many down the ride? How many won't even walk? How many of them will? How many of them won't?
You love creating, you love music, and you deserve to have a studio that works for you, not the other way around. That's where Some Law Entertainment comes in. These guys, they're unapologetically dedicated to doing it right from the start. Some Law knows every project is unique. They'll set you up with a smart budget plan that's built around your vision. They're with you every step of the way, checking in, guiding, making sure you're always on track. What more could you ask for? With Some Law, there's no more struggling between the wants and the needs. They get what's essential so you can focus on what matters, what you love to do. They're governor trusted, and it's simple. They care about bringing your ideas to life. Photo shoots, headshots, videos, music production. Some Law has the experience to bring your vision out of your head and into the world. Don't wait any longer. Call them and take the next step to sharing what you've been dreaming of. And I'll see you in the studio. And that's how it is, man. Just like that. You know, yo, man, we back live on set with Irv, discussing strategies, execution, teamwork, technology. I'm in the studio with M6.
You done know.
Yeah, man, for real. And that's, you know, and this thanks for informing me on that. You know what I'm saying?
bro?
It's you know, it's a lot of legends, you know, in Queens.
Yeah.
A lot of people who definitely, like we talk about, they say it takes a village.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And one thing I say about learning, though I'm from the Bronx, what I learned about Queens niggas, respect, y'all know what I'm talking about. What I learned about Queens niggas is that, like I told some, like y'all was a reminder of to not half step,
Right.
not lie, not be on some fuck shit, because, you know, nigga only but so big and shit too, you feel me?
Right.
And you don't want to have niggas, you don't want problems. So y'all pretty much taught me how to actually navigate. Because, you know, niggas operate different in each borough.
Right.
You know what I'm saying, man? But, you know, my Queens niggas always held it down, yo. You know what I'm saying? Always got to the money.
You don't last long when you front.
Yo, listen.
You know what I'm saying?
And always got to the bread.
Last long when you front.
And always just kept it real, man. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate, like, growing up in Queens, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But those who actually, like, assisted in paving the way, you know what I'm saying? You could actually acknowledge it. Yeah, man. So,
Yes, sir.
yeah, man, we here in the studio, you know what I'm saying, man? What's going on with the music?
With the music?
Have you been working on anything?
No, I haven't been, but I need to. So I ain't going to front on that. So, you know, I know Cat probably going to shake his head like, yeah, motherfucker, you know, and some's too. Yeah. Yo, you know what? I be so busy doing things, bro, that I just, how can I put it? I'm like a ghost in the sense where I'll come through, pause, record.
Oh, you do that too?
I ain't going to, listen, your friends is my friends. Right?
Not all of us.
Ain't nobody's calling me, be like, yo, kid.
But
Nah,
is that shout out to Brick Lay Say?
Yeah,
that's how you want to go.
Yeah. That's what, yo, because me and him talk sometimes on the side, so he'll probably call me, yo.
But you don't think
pause on the pause clause, as he says. You know what I'm saying? Salute to him for that.
You don't think that is because of marriage life? Like, you're married.
Yeah.
You're not doing what the typical.
I've been like that before I got married.
Like, always just been a monogamous type? Like, one man to each woman?
Huh?
Like, one man to one woman?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
You lost me with that for a second.
No, I'm saying as far as, like, you know, like, the typical rappers out here with several women and doing shit and
I have a short temper.
Mm-hmm.
So I ain't got patience for all of the mood swings.
It's expensive, huh?
Nah, man.
You could do it one at a time?
Yeah. I got a short temper. I'm a smart ass. And I'm an elite level asshole.
Elite.
You know what I'm saying? I'm an elite. I embrace it. You know what I'm saying? Because I had years of being that. You know what I'm saying? Not in a bad way, but it's just like, I'll annoy you before you annoy me with shit.
Okay.
I mean, even when I'm annoyed, you'll get more annoyed than me.
So who's the most annoying one in your marriage? You or the missus?
She'll probably say me.
You also the chef.
This is the thing. Because she might say things.
Because every time I talk with you, every time I talk with you, if you're in the kitchen, you're cooking, you're doing something.
Yeah. That doesn't make me any less annoying. You know what I mean?
No, I know. That's what I'm saying. The chefs are usually the annoying ones. Because we're always cooking up shit. So we're usually...
Yes. Metaphorically. Okay, I got you.
Popping shit.
I got you.
Popping shit around, you know what I mean?
Yes. Part of that comes with me being Jamaican too.
But I mean, hey, you got to listen. You was one of the few friends, and I'm glad because me and you actually had the chance of experiencing, like, you know, us like in New Orleans.
Right.
So you got to see me, like, you know, in different lights as well.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of people probably gonna watch it like, oh, you Jamaican, because how Americanized I am.
You consider yourself Jamaican?
In most sense.
Nah. Do you say Jamaican American, or do you say American Jamaican, or do you say Jamaican?
Bro, honestly, I guess it depends on the person. Me, I see how American culture is. I see how Jamaican culture is. I see the differences between the both. Yeah, I'm more on the Jamaican side.
So you're Jamaican American?
Yeah, I guess you would say. Yeah, because the way I do things to somebody out here, it wouldn't make sense because how people are, some people are entitled. You know?
What do you mean?
Not to say all Americans, I don't want nobody coming at me, right? But you can go out your way and do something for somebody and they're not appreciative of what you do, right? And everything don't comes with verbal gratification. You know? Case in point, when my son was having trouble in school, right, with his book work. Remember, I called you. You came through.
Yeah, I remember that. Okay,
you know what I'm saying? You came through. You know what I mean? You sat with him. You helped him out. You didn't have to do that.
Yes, I did.
I understand why you say that. But you didn't have to.
You're gonna have to answer that after.
No problem.
Why I say that? Tell me, because I want to know what you know.
Yeah.
Why? Why did I do it?
Why did you do it?
Yeah, you said you.
I can't speak for why you did it.
You said
I can speak for why you didn't have to do it.
Why not?
Because you have your own family, right? You work, right? I don't know what you do with your free time. So there could have been something important that you had to do that you made time for him. You know what I'm saying?
You got the phone with Fred a little while ago, right?
Yeah.
So I remember Fred one time, he calls me, he says, hey, what's going on? I just got the phone with my bro. And I said, who? And he said some nigga name, I don't know who the fuck he is.
Right.
And I was like, that's your brother.
Right.
Don't say, don't give these people titles.
That they don't deserve. Right. But people do that.
But again, and it goes back to what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You're here, like when you look around, like the success and the hustle, like
Right.
all of that. You know what I'm saying? This is like Queen's knowledge.
Yeah.
I learned a lot of the wild coyote shit courtesy of the Bronx.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, but there's a lot of things where knowing how to navigate and pivot.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And knowing when, knowing, like I said, knowing when to go to the Coliseum and knowing when to go to Gertz Mall and knowing where to get your Big Smiths and your...
Yeah, I gotta stop you on that shit. I gotta stop you on that shit. Lost Boys do not wear Big Smiths.
Well,
Carhartts all the fucking time. It was not Gertz Mall. It was the Coliseum downstairs, man on man. Go see my man Ross. You was able to get an LB t-shirt if you was fam. If not true. That, it was what, Mr. Lee's? Something like that, further down Jamaica Avenue where they had the sneaker spot downstairs in the basement. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I'm saying to you is
Big Smith is
I don't know. Listen, for some reason, I don't know why he keep on popping up in my head though, but I mean, I really want to kind of blame it on Chad.
Well,
because Chad I seen him with, he's the one who told me,
Chad,
go in Gertz to the back.
Yes.
To the left.
Yes.
And you go into the inside and it's all into the back to the left. And it was all right there.
Shout out to Chuck. That's my brother.
Yes.
Right? Mm-hmm. However,
what?
You're talking about the Chad that was smoking Black and Miles, wearing the Big Smith overalls with the pick in the back of his head.
That is the one I'm talking about. That is true. No, that's a great. Hey, damn! I'm like, and he went to the pick.
Right.
And he mentioned the pick.
That's a different era of Chad.
But
you
listen,
know what I'm saying?
But I've been listening to you guys from then.
Yeah.
Exactly. And you guys haven't really steered me wrong. So
right.
You know what I'm saying? So kudos to you guys with that. You know what I'm saying? As far as music, I really honestly, with all due respect, I really do enjoy the music that we've done put together. We've done tapped into so many different sounds and styles and genres of music. What I know we mentioned it a little bit as far as what got you into music, but pivoting back, how were you able to tap into all those different genres? Even if you realize that you do.
Well, my grandfather was a singer in Jamaica. My father was a DJ, right?
Okay.
And then he was DJing a bit out here. And just the American culture, you go around, you hear different music, you know? Then, which is one of the cool things about us, is the fact that nobody needed to be the same. Everybody had to be different in order for us to really mesh in what we do, because we all respected how a person rapped, as long as you gave it your all.
Yeah, and also it's not that everybody was lying in music, but it was one of those things where I know I was heavily influenced with Bone Thugs and Harmony and Wu-Tang.
Right.
And then when understanding Cash Money Click and Onyx and like the that wild side. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like One DMC. It started to get real rough.
Yeah.
The sound got real rough after a while.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I was a part of that era, that sound.
Because a part of it, they people were going, it was different times, people were going through something different. And people were being more at that time, people being more real with their music. That's when people were like, yo, I'm reporting what's going on in the streets, everything like that. With us, when we were doing music, you couldn't front. One thing that I remember when Summers came down from Maryland, and first thing I did was I took him with me to one of my studio sessions in Rosedale.
Okay.
Right? And he probably gonna laugh at this, you know what I mean? Or he might curse me out. But it was a time where Summers used to kind of like, used to have like this Jay-Z kind of shit with him. Right? Flashy rap. And I used to be like, yo, someday somebody is going to like verify. You know what I mean? They're gonna be like,
gonna question.
Yeah, you
to question
right.
your authenticity.
Yeah, so I'm like, don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
Which is the reason why you see, like, when he came here, he was like, yo, M6 raps about what the fuck. You know what I mean? Like, his shit is real.
Definitely.
I've been there.
That's right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. When you keep it true to yourself, people will relate for one degree or another.
He said something during an interview. He said, M6, you know what I'm talking about. Are you allowed to tell that story? Because when he said I'm like this, I'm like, and I'm editing it back and I had to hear the few times. I'm like, and M6, you know what I'm talking about? I'm like, I don't know.
Yo, I vaguely know what he talking about.
Vaguely?
He's talking about because
your name changed. Your name wasn't always M6.
Right.
And I can say K&S. Yeah, so for me, I always thought Knuckles because I always looked at you as a nigga who was always like fighting or would punch you in your face.
That's where it came from. You know,
that would.
I got that. That name was given to me from
and
my boy Plex and
respectfully, it used to be a little ashy.
I'm Jamaican, man.
You ain't like, but you polishing the motherfucking app, baby. Shout out to Mary, like, boy, won't a woman do it? Won't he do it?
Yo.
But listen, man, you being and I mean, why do you believe that you're so many people's favorite artist? You know, to me, you're like the Ghost to me in the Locks. You're like the Southside Young Jeezy type.
I've heard that.
No, you heard it from me. Yeah. But why do you believe that you're so many people's favorite? Like this, like underground.
Shocking enough, I never thought that.
Really?
Never thought that. To be honest with you, I thought it was Cap and Psalms.
It is.
You know what I'm saying? Because
I would definitely give.
No, I'm not saying like them to say that. I like as far as like who people was really feeling. Now, when it came to me freestyling, because I was doing it so effortlessly, motherfuckers was like, damn. You know what I'm saying? Like anybody could beat on the table, do it. Yeah, you seen how like I was just fucking around with Fred. You know what I'm saying?
Man,
it's like it comes naturally, you know? But I didn't think that too many people were really understanding what I was saying when I do my music, for the simple fact of what people cater to and what they're used to. You know, so if they like Nas and all of that, they want to hear the intelligent hood, intricate rap. You know what I'm saying? Like Raekwon and stuff like that. If it's the backpack rap, they want to hear let me hear the syllables and let me hear the wordplay and this, that. That ain't me. You know what I'm saying? My influences and where I'm from, I'm going to paint the picture for you. So I'm more of like a storyteller with my rhymes. So when you hear my lyrics, you can actually visualize it if you're paying attention to what I'm saying.
I have more songs with you than I have with those guys too.
Yo, dude.
We have a lot of songs together.
You know what's crazy? I told Cap, I said,
Me and Cap have it all.
Yo. But here's so crazy.
Shout out to Capo.
Yo, facts. Shout out to the coach. Yo, he's the Quincy Jones of it.
Oh, believe it, yes he is.
He is the Quincy Jones.
Definitely is.
He is the Barry Gordy of it all.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Definitely, I definitely.
Me and him have gone through a lot of things, even recording like outside the crew. Like when motherfuckers used to fall asleep, me and him used to be up in the crib 7 a.m. recording.
That apartment on Hillside
Yeah,
saved my life, man.
yeah. I gotta give credit to Cap
Shout out to moms.
because
Shout out
to be
the
real,
whole
and I don't
Scott
think
family.
anybody really said it in this way. When we did not have family, he gave us his
I never
with no problem.
I never was turned down. I
Right.
never was turned away.
He
I
gave
could
us
come
his
over there
family
any
with
time
no
of day.
problem.
Order a word, you got a problem, or you're not feeling good over there.
Yep.
Give it a 77.
Yep.
Get off that hillside.
Yep.
Walk
Yep.
up the hill, cut through the building if you're able to.
Yep.
You know.
Yep. Yep. You know
But
what I'm saying?
yeah,
he
it
shared his
really, really
moms,
did. And
he shared his grandfather, he shared his grandmother, he shared his uncles. You know what I'm saying? He shared his aunts. That dude. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I'll again, like what I was saying, as far as like being internally grateful
that's right,
to people. There's certain people that can call me. You know what I'm saying? And I'm up and I'm out the door.
without question.
I don't question anything.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And I'll be that blanket of protection, like, yo, we gonna preserve you. Get out the way.
Yeah.
All
Yes.
right. You know what I'm saying?
And
yeah.
and one thing I'm glad too, like I'm talking about as far as growing up with integrity, that I never had to use my manpower
Right.
for anything negative.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like they also have children, but they know, yo, dog, like if you don't look for problems, so if a problem's coming to you, and also just know how to navigate.
Right.
Pretty much. That's pretty much knowing how to be in real time, no half stepping, because, you know, Queens taught me so much, man. Taught me so much. And realistically, you are so creative through music. It seemed like, and I've done through all types of wild genres at you, and you seem to just find a pocket.
Yeah.
You know, if you had to combine your top 5
Of people? Influences what?
Yeah, who's your top 5 that influenced you?
Before I answer that question, popular people or unpopular?
Well, that's what I'm saying, because I know if I mention my top 5 in Queens, I have to go over, and I have to go on the table and under table.
Right. That's why I'm asking. I can answer
Yes.
both ways,
Yes.
but I want to know specifically.
Well, give me both.
All right. So
Give me I guess what we say on major platform
okay.
or well known.
Right. All right. So well known. Might not all be Queens, but first and foremost, it's the team. LOSWI. You know what I'm saying? Cheeks, Ty, mostly. You know what I'm
Rest in
saying?
peace to Ty.
Yes, rest in peace. Shout out to Freaky Kai. Ty Day's coming up.
For real.
May 17th. Come through. Springfield
Okay.
Park.
Mm-hmm.
You know. But yeah, them, 50 of course. DMX, who's not Queens. Coogee Rap.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the 5.
But that's 4 really, because you.
Is it why? Because you bunching Cheeks and Ty together?
Yeah, I'm gonna.
You gotta understand, Ty had some solo joints, but you wanna know what that was? Those are joints that nobody got to hear. The masses didn't get to hear that.
Now I'm asking, because now I really want to know who's your, because that's like a group.
Okay.
Lost Boys is a group.
Okay.
So
but Cheeks Oldest was a solo artist.
I know, and that's so. Okay,
So
fine. So then, who would be your top 5 groups? No, wait. Let's go back.
Mm-hmm.
That's on table. Now, who's under table?
Under table is Cap, Sums, Splash. I have to give it to you. What would be my other one under? And my cousin Dre Product.
Why Cap?
Cap, because like I said, Cap is like the Barry Gordy and the Quincy Jones of the music. So, you know, we used to have ideas, right? You used to see them infomercials on TV where they'd be like, oh, you 60s and 70s CD music. Yo,
Yeah.
Dude, I used to jack them joints for my moms, bring them straight to Cap. Like, yo, I got an idea. And me and him will sit there you know, with him doing most of the work. But you know, I'm with the brain, like, so we'll sit there and we'll formulate some shit. You know what I'm saying? And Cap would be there to tap into whatever idea you would have and try to make it come to fruition in the best way. You know what I mean? And he did it where the shit was just like, it was
Effortlessly.
banging, bro.
That's how it was for him.
And he still is very dedicated and serious about the craft.
Man, listen, even when it comes to certain things, even like I tell some have all these amazing ideas.
Right.
But I learned my lesson. When some got an idea,
Yeah.
oh, yo, so I'll make sure I send it to Cap too, because Cap will put a cease and desist on your ass.
Yeah.
I need to know
He'll tell you
what
why.
goes out
Right.
if I'm anything on it.
Yeah.
With that being said,
Right.
shout out to Cap.
Yes, sir.
What about Sums?
Sums is that's the Cuzzo. That's literally my code D.
I swear to God, I was about
That
to
is
say that.
literally
Code
my
D.
code D. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? That is my right hand man. Like, people did not see Sums without seeing me for a long time. Me and this dude, you know what I'm saying? Thick as thieves, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Thick as thieves. So much so that, like, he has a way with him. He's about to start some shit, and I could already know where he going with it. He'll start laughing. It's like, dude, I know you, bro. Me and this nigga is like Capone and Noriega.
Yeah, that's how I looked at a lot of different, like, at different moments I got to understand who y'all all, like, at different times.
Yeah.
Like how you was with Cap, how you was with Sums,
Yeah.
how you was with Puppet, or Casket, shout out
Yes,
to Casket
Casket.
on the beat. I don't want no problems,
Cuzzo.
you already know.
Yes, sir.
You know, with everyone,
Yeah.
just throughout. And also, like, with my relationships, how to, you know, with Mitch, and Chad,
Yeah.
and you, and different things. But, you know, collectively, you always ended up recording at my spot.
Yeah.
We did a lot of music, man.
Yeah.
We worked on a lot of things, man.
Cause I would be with Cap, I'm able to do a certain side. But I learned with you, I get around you, you want me to do the most rowdiest fucking music, and I'm there for it, bro. Yo, it's funny because shout out to Cypher, because I'm about to put you on to how I got on that song VHS, right? So
Oh, you about to get Cypher?
yeah. So, you know, it's when I'll come to your crib, right? And you'll do this joint like you did earlier, right?
see how
You'll
catchy
go,
see it, right?
you'll play a beat,
Somebody play something.
and you'll be like, yo, there's an open 16,
It's available.
right? or you'll catch me just freestyling until you be like, it's an open verse. You know what I'm saying? Then I'll be like,
Get that shit.
all right, fuck it. You know what I
Get
mean?
that
And then
shit.
we just get going. Like, that's the one thing with you. It's like, with everybody, there's some kind of barrier, right? Because some people don't want to do certain music because it might make them too vulnerable. It might seem too vulnerable or whatever. With you, it was like all out there. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, dude, we'll do alternative. You know what I'm saying? You can do rock. And then I looked at it as a challenge because you did the fast rap. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, okay, I can't do it how you do it, but I'm sure I can fuck around with it.
Man,
You know what I'm saying? So you know, I'll fuck around and I'll be right there with you. Again, rapping with you, bro, is like being with fucking Busy Bone or Twister.
Yeah.
So I can never be able to rap this. I can never flow the same way that you do.
But that's what made us dope.
But I'll be able to get on the same song with you. Where some people can't. They can probably get you to get on their song. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, and that's exactly what it was.
Because
too.
it's easier.
It was,
It's easier for them to have you be on their pace.
but it was effortless. Always working with you though.
right.
It was always this easy. Like I could say, "You hear this? A word? I ain't talking about. Fuck is you talking about? I give you my all. So took my car to my house.
Yeah.
I would never do that.
Yeah.
I just, and then that's funny because you know I do all these different things, but then you know that's why they're saying. I think less is best in the house.
Right.
I don't think that something needs to be in every single corner.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I know a lot of my homegirls, and I'm saying my homegirls because you know who I'm talking to.
Yeah.
They got shit in every corner. They got to put something always somewhere.
Right.
And I think less is more.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So me though, I would do all of that rambunctious stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You was very. That's what someone was saying. That's why it's true. You always speak what people are feeling.
Right.
So you were speaking for a demographic
Right.
of men.
That can relate.
Men, niggas, gangsters, hustlers. Everybody could relate.
Yeah, I got
and that's what it
relatable
is.
rap.
It's relatable raps.
Yes, it is.
And that's where we're gonna go to commercial break.
Gotcha.
Because a lot of you guys are not relatable. And you question yourself, why is it not working? Why isn't it happening?
Yeah.
Because you ain't being honest with yourself. You know, music changed like about every 45 years, I feel like every 2 years now.
Yeah.
And you guys are switching up your sound because you want to stay relevant besides staying honest. Stay honest. We're live on set.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
How many keeps it real? How many of them don't? How many hold that steel? How many of that talk? How many down the ride? How many won't even walk? How many of them will? How many of them won't? I'm 6, nigga, Southside's pinch hitter. Do me a favor, don't mistake me for them niggas moving the silence. Keep the bullshit behind us, keep my mind on the money. If you on bounce, watching how you maneuver, I just don't wanna lose you the way you running your mouth. I have you lined up with the Ruger. All on IG, it's all about respect and fame. On Twitter, it's who's macho, gang, 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 gang. Until we in the same place, you see I ain't playing. Then your whole motherfucking energy gon' change. Ain't got the time to hear no let me explain. I run down on your ass like it's a crime scene, man. Could it be my surroundings? Justify my aggression. Having suckers around you, give you some false impression that you really a killer. But breathing is a blessing. Baptize your ass in the streets by the hand of the breath. How many keeps it real? How many of them don't? How many hold that steel? How many of that talk? How many down the ride? How many won't even walk? How many of them will? How many of them won't?
So you love creating. You love music. And you deserve to have a studio that works for you. Not the other way around. That's where Sumlaw comes in. These guys, they're unapologetically dedicated to doing it right from the start. Sumlaw knows every project is unique. They'll set you up with a smart budget plan that's built around your vision. They're with you every step of the way, checking in, guiding, making sure you're always on track. With us, there's no more struggling between wants and needs. They get what's essential so you can focus on what matters. Hey, the governor trusted, and it's simple. They care about bringing your ideas to life. So, photo shoots, headshots, videos, music production, Sumlaw has the experience to bring your vision out of your head and into the world. Don't wait any longer. Call us and take the next step to share what you've been dreaming of. And I'll see you guys in the studio. He said, I ain't gonna have no answer for you. I ain't gonna have no answer for you. Yeah, that's usually how that's gonna go, huh? Well, we're live on set. Irv, M6, switching lanes, sliding through. Word up, Queens is definitely in the building.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. So, where did Queens get the money come from?
That's before me, man. It's more popular now. You know what I'm saying? But that's been a saying for a while, long time.
Yeah, I know. I just figured I
Queens
asked
keep on
him.
making it, Brooklyn keep on taking it, you know, money making Manhattan. Like there's always
There's always that.
yeah.
All right, I hear what you're saying. So, we spoke about. Well, I really wanted to get into your top 5 groups.
Okay.
You gave me your over under.
Yeah.
You kind of gave me. You said Cheeks.
Yeah, that's the number one group.
You put that.
That's
in
gonna
the
be
group.
my number
So
one
that's gonna be your number one group. So I mean, I kind of already knew that. I should have asked you what's your 2 to 5 Well, you're 4. You was like, what's the 4? Then what's the other 4 that come behind LBF?
All right, so yeah, you got Lost Boys coming at number 1.
Without
all the
question,
time.
every
no
time.
debate. I don't give a
like-
fuck what nobody's saying.
Yeah.
Right. Onyx. It's 2. Cause I'm a Queens nigga. Right?
Phew, that song Last Days.
Yo. See, all right then. See what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? Right.
Oh my
Shout out to Fredro, Sticky,
Woo!
Sonny. You know what I'm
Rest in
saying?
peace, D.
Yes, sir.
Word.
You know, so yeah, you know what I mean? After that, Wu-Tang.
Of a certainty. Mm-hmm.
You know, because our team that we have
Is
what Wu-Tang did is how we use their template to create what we have.
I didn't pay attention to that. I didn't pay too much attention until you brought it to my attention.
Right.
And it was like, wow. It was like really like it was the same but so different.
Yeah.
Like gumbo.
Yeah. That was the intent. Because whoever gets on,
Like
it's
QU, WU, like
Yeah.
like, oh God.
Yeah, you had QU, America's Most. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
for real.
yeah.
So, you know, the whole, well, let me finish answering, right? So you got, what, Lost Boys, Onyx, Wu-Tang, G-Unit. I'm going to throw that in there as a group.
I asked something about that, and some said, "Yo, that mixtape. You took that mixtape. You know that mixtape with the red, white, and blue.
Yeah.
with the white jersey. Yeah, you know that mixtape.
Yeah. So you have them, and
is that G Unit, Banks, Yayo, 50? You don't think Game and Buck? You ain't adding them into the pot. You thinking G Unit mixtape, G Unit, or are you thinking
I ain't gonna hold you.
G Unit, Shady Aftermath, in the scope?
I'm gonna say both.
Cause Buck was hard too. Right around.
Yes.
Dirty
That's why I said I'm gonna say both. They were already on go without him. You know what I'm saying? He was just he was a nice addition too.
Yeah, he did come in and it definitely gave it a whole different view.
Because they had the summer ringing for a couple of years off their mixtape.
But that was before Buck came along.
This is why I'm saying
that was
right. So now you see why I'm saying.
Because I'm thinking about our story.
Both.
I'm thinking about our growing up story now.
Right.
Yeah.
So now you see why I say, yo, you know, I'll say
okay. So
post and pre.
you just say G Unit, past, present.
Yeah.
Past.
Yeah.
Past, and present.
The original G Unit.
Original G Unit. Okay.
Right?
All right.
And then the corporate G Unit.
Yeah. Original corporate. I like that. That's
shout out to my guy Bang'em Smurf.
Yo, shout out to Bang'em for real.
Because people forget about that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Before it was G Unit, Gorilla Unit.
That's
they
right.
had the Black Gorilla on the mixtape. Smurf's my guy because Smurf come from the LB umbrella.
So you
know what I'm saying?
See that's
shout
what I
out
love
to Domination.
About, yeah, you see y'all guys
before Domination was with Smurf like that. He was Cream Fiends. You know what I'm saying?
You are part of that world of digging deep in the crates. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like me, like coming from the Bronx, you know, like once I got around you guys and just started just listening more, I got to know who was
right
and how y'all was. You know what I'm saying? And you did say that and shout out to Splash.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? For real.
That's why I give him a shot. It's my guy. He was 50 before 50 as far as the rap.
Listen, and that's something that
and you know what I'm saying? Like,
how's he doing?
I haven't spoken to him in a while. I know Cherry goes to see him probably regularly.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I know Chad, you know what I'm saying, would have his contact with him, as well as maybe Mitch. Me, when I ask, I don't really get 100% information. So,
you know, like I tell you all the time, you know, I feel like the and shout out to Capadonna because that's my dude. I love him. I feel like the Capadonna of the crew.
right.
You know, like where I'm around, but I'm like on the outskirts.
Right, you're not totally in the mix.
You know what I'm saying? So some things is not gonna hit my radar. You know what I'm saying? And it's when I hear about it, if I hear about it, you know, is gonna come like later on down the line
Right.
when it's
Yeah.
when the smoke clears.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that wasn't on 5, right?
No, that was 4.
That was 4.
The fifth. But we ain't do no over or under on the fifth, so I'm gonna say our group. Our group. Because
Okay.
we so deeply diverse.
Now,
Everybody
when you
had
say
a
your
certain kind of
group,
way. Yes.
what group
The
is
QU,
the
us,
the
all
straight
of us.
Straight hood.
Yes. The straight
Yeah,
hood crew.
that was a.
You know what I'm saying?
How many people was on that cover?
Yo, a lot.
that
You know
was
what I mean?
like that was like.
But there was more people on the album than was on the cover.
Oh, listen.
You know?
like if you got chosen
Right.
to be on the cover, I was like, oh, I'm down. I'm down. Nigga, where my motherfucking bat at? Where my glasses at?
The blowout.
Where my
with
bat?
the lokes. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And as you can see, I still wear them to this day. You know what I'm saying?
Yup.
Shout out to Lokes. Yeah.
Yup.
But is there any new music coming out that we should be expecting, or?
Yo, that's honestly to be determined, right? I haven't specifically gone and been in the studio to record anything as of late because I was in between trying to build one at home, trying to, you know what I mean, find one. Because I could record at home, that's cool, but the vibe is missing for me. So I don't really be having that drive, you know?
To record at home, it's not the same thing.
Right.
I know what you're saying.
Because 90% of my years of recording, I was going somewhere to record.
Yeah,
You know?
I hear what you're saying.
So a certain
Yeah,
atmosphere.
you always was outside. With
Yeah,
it. You was everywhere.
a certain atmosphere was always like there, and I like that because it's kind of like
You can get away from the. You could like zone out.
yeah, it's like a swordsmith or a Chinese master, right?
Mm-hmm.
They can sit there and they can do all of that by themselves,
Mm-hmm.
but they get the best competition with other people around.
That's right.
Because you now get to test your skills versus other people.
Yeah, you get to exercise.
Right?
what
Iron
you-
sharpens
what-
iron.
yeah, that's right.
I can sit there and do something at home by myself and say, yo, this shit is dope. And then I bring it to you and you be like, it's cool, but I've heard you really, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
I'd rather be around if somebody be like, yo, that shit, say it this way though.
Yeah.
Yo, that didn't come out too clear. Pronunciate your words.
That's
you know,
that's what you
do
guys
this, do
did
that.
at-
Right. You know
that
what I'm
was the
saying?
start. That's what y'all was doing at Cap.
Right.
It was like, well, what were you saying? And I'm like, I say the line, they'd be like, all right, say it again.
Yeah.
All right.
What's a shot to the popo? Yeah. So
But
I kind
do
of
you hear that shit though?
Yeah.
No, do you hear the lyrics?
Yeah.
What the fuck were we talking about?
Yo, man.
Who the hell we think we are? We wasn't doing that. I wasn't shooting.
Yo, man. See how you had to stop yourself? Now, here's the thing. Right? Some things, and maybe this need to be clarified. Some things we were actually
It wasn't on.
living. Some things was, if I'm in this situation and this goes down, this is what I'm gonna
This
do.
is how I'm reacting.
If you do this,
to-
this is how I'm going to respond.
This is how it's going down.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
win, lose or draw, whatever.
right. So it's not like some of these people, because I know us, right? So I know that we would actually do this shit and be like, yo, dude, chill the fuck out. You know what I'm saying?
That's how I was.
Right.
I was told that through certain songs. Listen, man. A lot of our music, they be like, yo, like Damien was. Oh, this nigga, damn, boy.
That
They
was
done
fun.
lost their mind.
Because they didn't understand.
Woo!
They didn't understand. That's
Mm.
that was see, that was a necessary song.
We got to get back in the studio, man.
Yes.
gotta
Dude,
get back in the studio.
listen, if you can at least have, if not a full CD, a double CD of songs that me and you have.
Yo, we have a lot of songs.
You know what I'm saying?
We do have a lot of material.
And this is how much I be on the go when I record.
Yeah.
So as much people like, yo, why don't you record? Yo, I record everywhere, bro. I might have CDs or files or certain shit. You know what I mean? But then over time, so you got definitely got Cap. I recorded some joints over at Tory crib. Shout out to Tory.
Told you.
Right? and Kojo.
Some Kojo, shout out to Kojo.
Kojo
Shout out to
got
Tory.
some stuff, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to the Gladiator. Shout out to
without
Kojo.
question, for sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
So the funny thing is,
I still think about that song every now and then.
which one?
Living on top of the air.
Oh, yeah.
Boy, they got me blowing on out with drums. Saying on top of it.
you know what I'm saying? So it be
Boy, that track was heavy, dog. What?
Yeah, see?
And that nigga Kojo was bleeding on that bitch,
Yeah.
yo.
Yeah.
Woo,
Yeah.
that one was supposed to come out,
Yeah.
boy. Ooh, that
I
was
have
heavy.
more music than people probably think that I have.
You see, you sent me a couple of things. I had to go in my archive like, wait a minute, this motherfucker got shit from 2006.
Yo, I have more music than people think that I have because I only think that they think at the time, like, yo, he only has this. He only has that.
Nah, but
then
everything, yeah.
Then another thing that I fall victim to, right?
Mm-hmm.
Most times I don't really care on doing solo music, right? The only reason why is sometimes with the kind of beat selection that I want, it's kind of hard to get.
Okay.
One side, Cap, he got that point, right? But I try to incorporate a lot of my Caribbean culture in it. So that's why half the time you'll hear my patois in my verses, right?
Yeah, you always
So-
somehow, some way,
Right, slide it in.
So always,
Right.
You see me?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Because I can't play games with you.
Yeah.
Have your brains missing.
Shh, listen.
Boy, I was there like, shit.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
you know, I be trying to find somebody that does like reggae beats,
Okay.
and that's kind of hard, you know.
Really?
Yo, for me it is. I be like,
It's hard
yo,
to find
I
a
know,
producer who
I know
makes
guys
reggae
that's-
beats.
For me, it is what I'm saying. I know guys that do reggae, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like artists. Not that I speak to like on a level like me and you or you know,
Okay.
Cap and Sums, whatever.
Yeah.
But I'm like, where the fuck do these guys find these people? Right?
They're everywhere.
But what I realize, sometimes these guys are in-house guys. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
These are people that's part of their team. So they're not outsourced to where you can get to them. So now say if I go to SoundClick, I can find somebody, but now I got to go through all of the roundabout because of the samples and clearing. And,
Sometimes you have
know?
to go through that though.
right. But then sometimes I got ideas of how I want somebody to do a reggae song, you know, because I'll think about some shit from back in the 70s that I grew up listening to that my grandfather or my pops was playing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, yo, if I can get somebody to kind of like mix some of that with what's now, shit'd be crazy.
So that goes perfect into this question then.
Yeah.
Like, how would you describe yourself when it comes to music? Like, who is M6 through song? Like, you know.
I am how I am. You know what I'm saying? I'm not complicated. I would say that I'm realistic. Some people might think that I'm temperamental, right? But there's extreme logic in everything that I do. It's just that those who know, and those who don't, it's going to look like I'm doing something irrational.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's times where I've had problems with people and I had to handle it in a certain way. And a person that would see is like, oh, you bullying this person. But the person that I'm having that interaction with isn't saying that I'm bullying them. Because they know exactly why I'm approaching them.
While
the way
you're
I am.
applying that type of pressure or that type of moisture to in the first place.
Right. You know what I mean? And I'm not the type of person to do that with an audience. I'll do it man to man. And I do that in various reasons. Because there could be a bunch of people, but I'm conditioned to it. You got to respect the man before you respect the numbers. And I said that in one of my rhymes too.
Yes, you have.
Because it's a real
Yes,
thing.
that's
Because can't
right.
nobody say, oh, well, he's acting like this because these people are around. Nah, this is me, bro. This is me.
Yeah. With or without the people.
Exactly.
That's the difference. Yeah. I totally agree with you. Yeah.
It's me.
If,
So
if there was anybody you could collabo with in music, You
Right.
know what I'm saying? Who would it be? You can name anybody. Doesn't matter. I'm just curious.
Well, I always wanted to get Cheeks on the track, which isn't hard to do for me, right? It's just a matter of timing and finding the right beat.
The right track that you know that you could say we're putting this down.
Yeah, because he'll do it. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the kind of person he is. Like if you family, he fuck with you. You know what I'm saying? He gonna do what he need to do. You know what I'm saying? Also, shout out to the Unc D2.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because that's one of his managers. You know what I'm saying? And that's family. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's not hard. Outside of that, I don't really know, bro. Like maybe just to see how I fare against these people, I would say maybe G. You know what I'm saying? T.I.
I would love to hear a track with you and
You know,
Jeezy. That'd be so fire. I know y'all definitely could have it.
50, yeah, but that'd be easy for me. But for personal selfish reasons, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I would want to do that.
Boy, that
you know,
there's some tracks that I even for myself as a fan, I would love to hear. Those definitely. I also could hear you with Ghost Styles P.
Yeah,
yeah, oh yeah.
I won't say Styles P.
Oh yeah, definitely see that.
I'm gonna hit you with the some might find this funny. Chic Luch.
Yeah, I can see that as well.
But there's a reason why I chose Chic.
Why?
Because I'm considered the chic of the group. Like, pause. Me, Cap, and Sums.
Oh, you mean as far
kind of considered like the
you mean
three-headed
as far
monster.
as like the riffraff?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Because y'all are the riffraff, right? The riffraff is the three of y'all.
Well, the riffraff is all of us when we're on our bullshit. So it ranges outside of me, Cap, and Sums.
Really? Okay, I never knew that.
Yes,
Chad
doesn't do no music. Oh, he's part of the riffraff.
Clearly a part of the riffraff.
Oh, right. You see what I'm saying? Like
makes sense now.
The riffraff is when the bullshit is activated.
Okay, so technically,
you know what I'm saying?
I've been amongst the riffraff.
Yes,
within my
many
time.
times.
Many times.
Yes,
yeah. Within my lifetime.
Right.
Okay.
But you know, me, Sums, and Cap is like I said, pause, three-headed monster.
Yeah, that's really how and if I had to describe it, I always go back to, y'all three, was definitely instrumental with how I approach music and sound, and always was like an instant fan, and y'all voices always commanded attention.
Yeah,
not that everybody wasn't talented, but not even but. I don't want to contradict myself. It's just that certain people were able to resonate.
Yeah.
Further than others at times.
Right.
Yeah, I said that correctly.
Right. And the way we feed off of each other when we do music is effortlessly. So Cap can record a verse, come around me, I'll record my verse, go around Sums, record his verse. Mm-hmm. But when people hear it, you would have swore we were all there together. In the same, that's like right. We thought about the beat. Mm-hmm. We was all there at the same time. We all there writing the same time.
All feeding off of each other and creating the actual sound. Exactly.
Yeah. You know? So it's funny and it's crazy all at the same time, but yeah.
So let's bring it back a little bit. Mm-hmm. You was born and raised Queens?
Yeah.
Yeah? So you born South Side?
Yeah.
Really?
Between South Side and the North Side, man. I'm
South Side, North Side. Like we were talking about it before.
I'm internationally Queens, man. Like
you Queens.
But I've been in the baddest parts. Man, I mean, I know people say, "Oh, Queensbridge and shit like that," but I've been South Side, North Side, worst eras of them. You know what I'm saying? I've been there, bro.
I've
been there, and it's crazy is because, South Side is the South Side. A motherfucker will look at me and be like, "Oh, yeah." Mm-hmm. North Side, you have some motherfuckers that fuck to me. And then some motherfuckers have a problem with me because I'm from the South Side.
Yeah.
Motherfuckers see my LOSWI tattoos or they see the shirt and they, but then they see how I move and it's like, oh.
Yeah,
you know, it's crazy.
I kind of got away with a lot of things too because it was like that. For example, I was that. Oh, that's my nigga from Hollis. That's my nigga. That's my like.
Right.
South Side niggas had love for me. North Side had love for me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Every hood, there was always somebody there that just had love for me. So it was like I was just good everywhere I went.
Most of my respect came from the OGs first.
Yeah, very much so. Always was somebody older.
I clashed with my peers because what I realized is the respect that I got from the elders is the same respect that the peers wanted, and they never could understand how I got it without me having to do the extra shit that they were trying to do to get it, but not knowing that half the reasons why the OG wasn't giving them that respect is because they was doing the stupid shit to try to get respect.
Exactly.
I came off the rip and I'm planting my feet.
Nah,
you know what I'm saying?
You was never one of those. Yeah.
I'm quiet. I'm out the way. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't gonna let you fuck with me, bro. I'll be willing to go however you want to go with it.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was raised off of respect and I was raised off of knowing the consequences of your actions. So I know early, if I'm going to get into something, it's going to go one out of two ways. Sometimes people are looking like, man, sound like you mad ignorant of, yo, you don't think about, you don't think I have something situated for that already?
Word up. You like as if you haven't mapped it out in your head somehow somewhere already?
Yeah. because of how calm I be about the shit. You know what I'm saying?
Those are the most dangerous people, you know that, right?
Yeah, so they say.
So I can tell you who they are too.
But yeah, so it's just, you know, even when we was in high school, bro, I used to get in fucking trouble. And some people didn't realize certain things. You know? Like, teachers would get mad. Oh, they thought that I was too influential with certain people. It was a respect thing. I wasn't bullying nobody, you know what I'm saying, or nothing like that. There was a lot of things going on behind the scenes that people wasn't really paying attention to.
Okay.
You know? So it garnered a kind of respect. I've been the big bro forever. You know what I'm saying? I've been big bro forever, bro. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I'm the same age with motherfuckers. This motherfucker's older than me.
How everybody was even like treating you even back in Jack.
Right.
You know
I'm
like
big
a lot
bro.
of people was giving you that.
Right.
That superior.
Right. But
even if you wasn't even asking for it, it was like they gave it to you.
Right. Because people wasn't understanding. Some people was understanding and some people weren't.
So how did that affect you? Like growing up? Like think about and it's like we're young.
Yeah.
And technically we're kids.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They say the average, like this generation, the average human brain doesn't fully develop till they're about 25, 27 years old now.
Right.
So, you know, you could be 18 and you're 24, your brain isn't still fully developed. Mm-hmm. But you now can drink and smoke and party, and you were young with a lot of responsibilities.
Yeah.
Was any of those things traumatic for you?
Traumatic? If it was, I put it all in the music, to be honest.
That's going to be the question I'll follow up behind it.
I put it.
And if it was,
all my
how
pain,
did you deal
all
with
my
it?
pain went in the music. There was nobody I could talk to. Again, think about it. I'm big bro. So if I'm big bro, right? Even though I'm the same age as my peers, the only reason why I'm big bro is because I've experienced more at my age than my peers.
Than a lot of them did.
So I have more knowledge on how to deal with things.
Yeah.
But I myself did not have a big bro. So that's kind of like the
So you the big homie who never had a big homie.
Yeah. That's the gift and the curse.
That's right.
Because you don't have nobody to go to that's going to be like, yo, do A, B, and C.
But you said your dad. You have siblings?
I have siblings, but again, my father.
Because you mentioned your parents, so I'm trying to understand.
I learned things from them, what to do and what not to do. My father calls me the cornerstone that the builder refused. You know what I'm saying? That's an old Bob Marley song for people who don't know. But my father calls me the cornerstone that the builder refused. Mm-hmm. Because there was no expectation of me to do anything great or for me to be as strong and as durable as I am. They realized that over time. You see what I'm saying? I'm the anchor of the family. That ain't to take nothing away from nobody, but I'm the anchor of the family. You know what I'm saying? So, again, say if I had something and I went to my parents, oh, it's this, oh, it's that. I'm going to give you an example. There was a time where I almost got expelled from school because I brought, it's going to sound crazy, I brought shell casings to school.
Shell casings?
Yeah.
Just the casings?
Yeah.
Okay.
But school,
but still,
people freaking out about this shit.
Yeah. Why do you have shell casings and where's the shells?
Right? But here's the thing. The only reason why I did is I did to show kids in my school that America's Most Wanted came, because it was right on the square, to reenact a shooting that happened at the game room. Now, typically in certain black households, America's Most Wanted is something you watching on a Sunday night. So you a kid, you see John Walsh out on your fucking block.
On the block, out in the hood. You're like, yo, wait a minute.
You hype.
Yeah.
Because somebody you see on TV is in your hood.
Is literally in your hood. That's right.
I can't take the nigga to school like it's show and tell, right? The only thing that's there that was left was the fucking shell casings.
That they like put there as a scene, like to.
Well, that was left from the blanks because they actually reenacted the whole shooting.
But I'm saying, those wasn't the same show. Those is like fake.
Yeah,
because they reenacted it.
Yeah, it was from the reenactment. It wasn't the real. Right.
Because sometimes
it was there.
Sometimes they were there.
Yeah.
I mean, on any other regular day.
Yeah.
Walking to the store.
Yeah.
You could see
Well, in the hallway, I almost got in trouble one time because there was a whole bunch. I grabbed somebody's stash because there was a whole bunch of crack in a brown bag. Now, to a kid, you see a brown bag, what you thinking is in there?
Candy.
Okay.
Yeah.
I brought that shit to my mother. She lost her fucking mind, bro. But again, right? Now that we're older, when you think about this shit, and you look exactly, see, now you understand. So now when people hear me rhyme or people see how my personality is, it now starts to make sense.
Okay, I get what's going on here.
It now starts to make sense. You know what I'm saying? Tarzan only seemed sane to the animals in the jungle because they understood he was raised there.
Yeah, they understand what's
to society, they didn't understand. Until they seen him in this element, and while they're scared, who's able to protect them in the jungle?
And that's something that people need to also consider as well, because a lot of you guys are in the jungle right now and still do not know how to figure out how to navigate and pivot to get to the next level. We're going to go to commercial break. We pay a lot of bills over here. I'm telling you, man. I be doing all these commercials.
Listen, I'm here for a while.
Listen, we know. We're here for a good time, not a long time. M6, live in the studio,
sir.
live on set. We'll be back.
Catching misdemeanors coming home like you felons. This is what I don't get. How you say you all set? Everybody down and take a charge, but you home quick. Bumble glide, you got too far, bitch. Since when we start accepting shit like this? I ain't here for the fuck shit, man. I'm so certified. If you're thinking I'm lying, hey, welcome to try.
You love creating, you love music, and you deserve to have a studio that works for you, not the other way around. That's where Some Law Entertainment comes in. Guys, they're unapologetically dedicated to doing it right from the start. Some Law knows every project is unique. They'll set you up with a smart budget plan that's built around your vision. They're with you every step of the way, checking in, guiding, making sure you're always on track, if you know what I mean. With us, no more struggling between the wants and the needs. Get what's essential so you can focus on what matters. Hey, Governor trusted, and it's simple. They care about bringing your ideas to life. Photo shoots, headshots, videos, music production. Someone has experience to bring your vision out of your head and into the world. Don't wait any longer, yeah? Call us and take the next step to sharing what you've been dreaming of. And I'll see you in the studio. Yeah. And we're back live on set.
Yeah.
Irv M6.
Huh?
Huh?
You serious?
Because I can't play games with you. Listen, man, I have to ask you, man, what keeps you going? Like, I know you know, we're maturing. We get to see each other, family men, with women, with children,
Right.
different responsibilities,
Right.
Routines, rituals, responsibilities, jobs,
Yeah.
but still having the passion in music. What keeps you?
Going with the music.
Yeah, what makes you want to continue to
I love it.
push?
And I'm always going through something that I can't talk to people fully about that they would be able to help me with. The curse of the big bro.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? And sometimes, again, what still drives me to do it is not everybody is multifaceted musically to where they can say the things that I say,
Mm-hmm.
how I say it, you know what I'm saying? Or just the contents of what I say, period.
As well as with conviction.
Yeah.
So, are you gonna ever quit music?
I've thought about
Is there
it.
ever a time that you're gonna say, you know what, man, fuck this, I ain't doing this anymore?
Nah.
No,
Even if it's just me giving 16s, bro, I'm still gonna do it.
because it's just in your DNA.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Is there anything that we should be looking out for?
I don't know. You want to release some music that we did?
You know what? Listen.
You spin it on me. You see how I
No,
did that?
because I'm learning.
Right.
Even with for me right now, like you see, like I got these microphones called the short SM7Bs, right?
Yeah.
These are the same microphones that Michael Jackson recorded Thriller on.
Okay.
So I call these the Thriller microphones, right?
Right.
So you see how I got two of them,
Yeah.
and not one time have I took one of these microphones and went in there and just got busy.
Right.
I haven't recorded a song in about 7 months.
Okay.
I think I had writer's block for maybe 6. But I can come here and record an episode like it ain't nothing.
I know what the problem is.
Tell me, please.
I have to start coming back through more often.
You know what? I think that's probably it. I think so.
I got to start coming back through more often.
I have to ask this question,
Yeah.
just out of curiosity. Have you ever been to therapy?
No, because music is my therapy.
Do you believe in therapy?
For some people, yeah, but I feel that it wouldn't work for me. That's not, and I'm not trying to slide into that mode where people be in denial and defiant about it.
Okay.
Because it was said to me before, like, yo, you should go to therapy. And I'm
Who
like,
mentioned it, a man or woman?
woman.
Hmm.
Woman.
Woman close to you?
Yeah.
I'm just
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I mean, this even, guys have said it, you know what I'm saying? Not on some like, yo, dude, you need to go to therapy. But like, yo, our generation with the shit that we've experienced,
Mm-hmm.
we all need a little bit of it. But I said music, I think helped me more than a therapist would, because a therapist is
That was the release. You had a solution you had a formula, something you can do to implement to get around.
Yeah, because before I was like
out
the
of it.
Incredible Hulk.
Talk about it.
But like I said, everything has a science behind it, right?
It does.
It's very calculated. So even though I was like looked at that, when you look at the Incredible Hulk, he's Bruce Banner first.
That's right. First and foremost.
He'll tell a person, don't make me angry. You won't like it when I'm angry.
Turn up or turn up.
Now, when he says that, a person looks at him as if he's being arrogant.
Mm-hmm.
So then they proceed to test him. Then when the motherfuckers start turning green, the motherfuckers like,
surprise,
oh,
surprise.
shit, right. And they ready to run. And then they're just like, oh, he went crazy. Skipping the part where he was just calmly telling
I just told you, don't play with me,
right,
itty bitty bitch.
Right, because without him having to get so excited, he knows what he's capable of doing.
What he's capable of doing. That's like Beast.
Right. So, that's why I put it in the music, because, a therapist could try to talk to you, hey, well, maybe you should try this, maybe you should try that. But if you haven't gone through it, there ain't too much you can really tell me about how to deal with it.
If you ain't never experienced certain things. You know what I'm saying?
So the best I feel like I could do is I put it in the music, and I can help those that can relate. And by that, we help each other. You know what I'm saying? Because then now somebody's saying, yo, I feel that song, bro. I was going through the same shit. You know what happens with me? Okay, it wasn't just me. Wasn't just me. Because a lot of times when we go through things, we feel like we going to be by ourselves.
That's why you're so relatable through music, and that's why a lot of people are fans of you, because that's what you implement.
Yeah.
You bring that to music.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't know how many, would be honest and really give you your flowers while you're here, but let me be one to tell you, what I'm saying, man? Like, you, like, really showed me, like, I could, man, like, you could take it there.
Yeah.
So I always make sure that I implement, like, taking it there. Because I know there's people that's listening.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That y'all going to hear what I'm saying. And also, if there's some space.
Yeah. But now I'm inspired by all you guys, those who do music, those who don't, and I give people their flowers all the time, so I do it now, but I also do it behind the scenes, like even like with Chad, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, bro, I see how you moving. That should motivate me to kind of like want to be in this area doing this.
That's right. For real.
You know what I'm saying? I can be complacent. And that's most people's problem. They'll be complacent. You always gotta want more for yourself.
If there was a young artist that was wanting to get into music, like in that microphone.
Right. Okay.
Like, what is something that you would be able to tell them, like as far as how they should navigate and pivot coming into the music industry in the year 2025?
First and foremost, the number one thing, stay true to yourself.
For a fact.
Authenticity is a must. People get away with being fake, but what tends to happen is, over time, all it takes is for one person to question something, and everybody else start thinking like, word. And then, it's like when they say they put people on a pedestal and them motherfuckers fall.
The spiral
and
effect.
they don't know how to handle it. That's because they never leveled themselves. If you be real with yourself and you humble yourself first,
you always know how to balance out. First and foremost.
Right. And guess what? There's less people that will be able to humble you because you always keep yourself. You always keep yourself.
I know what you're saying. There's very, very few that get the luxury of telling me about myself. Though there are a decent amount of people that I connect with as far as growth and development.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you're saying that would be the first thing, first and foremost?
Yeah, you got to be true to yourself. That's the only way you're going to ultimately feel comfortable. If not, you're going to put yourself in positions to where you feel like you always got to be this person for these people because you done made that persona of yourself more important to who you really are. And you're never going to be comfortable. Never going to be comfortable in life because you're being somebody who you're not at the core.
I hear what you're saying.
Be who you are, man. And if people rock with you, they rock with you. If they don't, fuck off. Because you ain't meant to be for everybody.
That, for a fact, is 100% true. I know that for a fact.
Yeah, man. You build your team. That's your shield wall. Those are the people you need to rock with. Me and Chad was talking last night, right? He was laughing because of us talking about how well we all know each other. He's like, yo, man, I be seeing these memes where people be like, yo, how many of y'all could say that you got the same friends that you had in junior high school to now? Like, he's like, yo, I know my niggas for over 20 years, and we still fucking rocking. Like,
Longer than that.
yeah, and the crazy thing is, no matter how old we get, it's kind of funny because I guess maybe it's the immature thing with us being guys. When we're around each other, it's like we're in high school.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
All the jokes,
Yes, right.
inside shit,
somehow,
all that shit come back.
Somehow, some
You know,
way,
yeah,
some shit gets blurted out.
yeah. It's just it's what we do.
All the time.
I mean? You know what I mean? And people will probably from the outside be like, damn, you know, because when you look at other teams, other crews, and other guys, you know what I'm saying? They got a lot of people missing. Motherfuckers ain't here no more. Mostly dead.
Word.
You know?
For a fact.
Mostly dead. Sometimes people will move and then they lose touch because they got their own family.
Yeah, and time is also just going by fast too, man.
Yeah.
Time be moving.
But there's so many lanes of contact for you to get in contact with it. Like, yo, me, Cap, and Sums don't talk all the time. But when we talk, you would think we talk every single fucking day.
Yeah, because
me and you don't talk every day, but when we talk, it's like we talk every fucking day.
Like we just kicking, like we normally
do. And it's
do.
like that with each and every one of us.
I will give you that.
There's not one person where they be like, yo, I don't know, man. This motherfucker could have changed. I ain't speak to him for a couple of years.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
it ain't never like that.
So, is there anybody that you want to acknowledge that's past, present, future? I mean,
as far as
like in your growth and your development. I mean,
well,
you have to give any specific shout
let
out.
me say this. I want to shout you out. One, I see what you're doing here, but most importantly, I see what you're doing in the school system. You know what I'm saying? Now, coming from where we came from, when motherfuckers was looking at us like we were like deterrents. Yeah. Like we were going to just like disrupt everybody and do the worst shit. To see you actually teaching the youth, you know what I'm saying, and how you do it, I respect that, bro.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Because who would have known that one of us would be an actual educator?
Yeah, silly bone.
in the crew. You get what I'm saying? The dude talking about Prozac and shit.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy how life works. Right?
Yes, it is.
Then, you know, I want to give a shout out to the young lady that you had on your last show that's a teacher.
Yeah, let's see.
There was something that she said in her
Davidson.
interview that I respected when she was talking about, you know, if the kids don't understand, she's not going to fail them. She's going to find a way to make them understand. So that shows me that she's not one of those teachers that's just going there to collect a check.
Yeah,
and
man.
The kids could just fall in between the cracks.
That's right.
She's trying to preserve and protect the future as a black woman. You know what I'm saying? Dealing with children.
She do it. She definitely do it.
Now, I don't know you from nowhere, but I was locked in on the interview, and I respect that.
I appreciate that for real. Shout out to LOSWI Davidson as well.
Yes, sir. You know, definitely. Coach Cap always for being loyal to who he is, how he is, you know, and never changing.
That for a fact, you know what I'm saying?
Sums, same way. You know, I mean, even though he's a Brooklynite now, I just want to put that out there.
I gotta speak French now.
You know No, but hold on.
Me too.
I understand.
I mean,
but you know, your man was ultra Queens, North Side, murder docs.
Listen, even we said, you see how we said the last episode. I said, so you from Queens, Murdoch.
Yeah.
Big Queens.
Yeah.
You know,
so I like to fuck with him about that. You know what I mean? Like, you know, he's a Brooklynite now.
Yeah, you big Murdoch.
Yeah.
Get that. You always big Murdoch.
Yeah. Some St. Patrick. You know, that's what I call him. You know, because he's another one that I'm extremely proud of because of the moves that he's making in the community. You know, doing what he's doing again. coming from where we came from, because we were all considered have-nots.
For a fact.
You know what I'm saying? We were all considered have-nots. So to see him be for the community and things that he's doing, and as much as he might not think that I'd be tapped in, big bro. I watch everything. I just don't say.
You see everything.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
That's one thing about it. That's one thing I give you and a few other people.
I'm
Y'all
always
see everything.
tapped in, right?
I'm like, what I gotta do is see like, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know? Again, Chuck, you know what I mean? To see where we were, to see where he is now, you know what I'm saying? I'm proud of him. You know what I'm saying? He inspires me, you know what I'm saying? And it's good to see the men that we've became.
That's right, bro.
You know? I gotta shout out Mitch, because he turned his shit around. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, him trying to do what he needs to do.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Shout out to my cousin Casket. You know, I mean, I don't speak to him that much, you know. But again, when he's on and he's out there, I'm watching.
That's it.
You know what I'm saying?
That's it. Present and accounted for.
Yeah, he's doing his music joint. You know what I mean? He's taking care of family. That's what real ones are supposed to do.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
You know, how can I forget? My man Bricklay Slay.
Boy.
Bricklay Slay.
Shout out to the Bricklayers.
Oh man, my guy. You know what I'm saying? Another one, because I'm always tapped in with him. I always see what he's doing. And me and him will talk and we'll give each other our flowers, you know what I'm saying? Because we see, again, coming from have-nots, bro. We didn't have no motivation.
Yeah, there was really,
you know what I'm saying? We were our own.
We had to. It was just us.
Right. You know what I'm saying? And there might be some females or some people that's gonna watch this that know us from high school and be like, yo, what you talking about? And that's because they was on the outside.
Yeah.
They never really knew
what
we had going on when we had
like young black boys growing up.
When we had turbulence in our life, we were holding each other down. We didn't have no elders really holding us down and navigating us. We were the village for each other. That's why, you know, we sometimes will send a text with certain things. Like, yo, CMB, we all we got.
You always say that. And you know what's funny you say that? You've always stayed loyal.
Yeah.
That must be hard.
No.
I'm saying hard as in, because, you know, sometimes we look for ourselves in other people.
Right.
You know, everybody don't have the same definitions of being loyal. You know what I'm saying? But I would hope that, well, I know this is not. You know what I'm saying? And I hope you guys know as well that this is not his last time on the set.
Right.
Oh, no.
Nah, I'll be back.
We got so much more to tap into.
Yeah.
Believe it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, man? But I want to pause it here.
Okay.
Because I know that there's so many other areas I know we got to fine tune in real time. But we do have M6 here in the studio, brother. I want to thank you for being on the set. You know,
Appreciate
pulling
coming.
up, being present. And I tell you guys all the time, the quality of your living is based entirely upon your ability. Your ability to do what? And how you're going to go about it. And if you're even going to survive while you're doing it. You know? We tell them all the time. You want to tell God a joke, tell them your plans.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And everybody who's watching, shout out to you guys. And if you're doing whatever you have to do to become better than yesterday, you're already halfway done. You're already halfway ahead of what you want to get done.
Yeah.
M6, my brother.
My guy.
I love you, sir.
You already
Thank you
know.
for being a positive influence.
Am I?
And sometimes negative. Because, boy, we get in the studio and turn up. Because it ain't no thing.
Yes, sir.
So we really turn up. We live on set. We will be back and black.
Yes,
and shout out to everybody watching. And, this is only the beginning. Because music is attached. What else? What else should they look forward to?
Right now, it's just the music, man. I mean, I got my brand from the mud, you know? So, depending on how things work out, I'll probably have some merch coming.
So AKA, I'll have merch soon.
Yeah.
Yeah. We live on set.
Yes, sir.
Irv, M6.
Huh?
We're in the studio. My man.
Zimmer.
Get to work.
Yeah.